SUVs are very trendy. In the meantime, almost every car manufacturer with a reputation to maintain offers one. And now Subaru wants to join in. However, it's built not in Japan, but in the USA. And that's also where its name comes from. Tribeca is a district of Manhattan. The name is short for Triangle below Canal Street. It was formerly an unsightly industrial area. Now there are many bars, restaurants, and art galleries. Tribeca has moved upmarket. The crossover four-wheel drive vehicle is built in Indiana, where the Japanese company Subaru has been making cars since 1987. And last year, their American factory received international environmental certification. Over 2,200 employees work a two-shift system, producing some 10,000 cars a month. Up to now, it was the Legacy and Outback models. They're now joined by the new Tribeca SUV. One feature of the factory is that a high proportion of the components are made on the spot, not delivered by outside suppliers. For example, the bumpers, as Works Manager Scott Brand explains.
The reason we produce them here is just sort of a logistic cost. With a very large, awkward part like this, it would be very expensive to bring in from a supplier, even in the same state. So we save money there. We also have the ability to change the molds and limit our inventory by doing various runs of each part each day. So we only produce what we need for the finished products. We have around 20 to 25% of women in the plant work in the manufacturing areas, so very high percentage. We have very good success. They enjoy the work, they're very productive, and they are very, very dedicated to the work as well.
And of course, dedicated and contented workers make for consistent high quality. Quality controls and functional checks are a matter of course. No vehicle leaves the Subaru Works in Indiana without a thorough check. Lafayette is a typical American town with a football stadium, a shopping mall, stars and stripes flying, but also a Japanese car factory. That's where they build an American car with a difference. The Tribeca was designed for the American market, where plenty of space and flexibility are important considerations. Also, comfortable suspension. People cover long distances, and the roads are often surprisingly poor. But Subaru is convinced that Tribeca will be a success outside the USA, too. That's why thousands of them have been produced in advance and are just waiting to be delivered. From here, they'll be transported by truck to customers throughout the continent. Or taken across the Atlantic on roll-on, roll-off ferries, and then delivered all over Europe. Tycho is the name of this large ship that's about to land the very first consignment of Tribecas at Zeebrugge in Belgium. Frederik Verhofstadt is the cargo superintendent, responsible for seeing that everything goes smoothly.
So the ship left now the lock. She will go alongside now immediately, ram down, and we have to start discharging because the stevedores is standing by. We have to go now.
The Tycho is over 850 foot long. It transports anything that can drive on and off under its own steam. No need for cranes to load and unload.
It's a very strange feeling. You have everything on the plan. It's only on paper. You see everything, cars high and heavy, and now you see it in reality. And sometimes in the reality it's totally different as on the plan. So you can have discrepancies now coming on board and see what is this, but then we find a solution to take it out or to load it anyway.
The cars are all strapped down for the voyage so that the cargo remains securely in place on the high seas. The safety harnesses all have to be removed before the cars can drive off. Unloading is like a military operation. No delays can be tolerated because the time spent tied up at the dock costs money, and the ship needs the next load before it can start earning money again.
I am very, very satisfied. The operation went very well. The cars are on the terminal and ready to be picked up by the dealers for Europe.
And it's not only Subarus that are waiting to set wheel in the old world Terra Nova for them. The Tyco is carrying thousands of other vehicles, including old-timers, agricultural machinery, construction vehicles, and others. Only a few hours before it sets sail again, back across the Atlantic, perhaps carrying Porsches, BMWs, Audis, and anything else that's drivable. But back to the Subaru Tribecas that have just arrived in Europe. The version that will soon be on sale here was adapted specially for the European market. Lights, exhaust, suspension, almost everything has been modified. Of course, the permanent four-wheel drive remains. Andreas Zapatinas, the designer of the Subaru Tribeca B9, explains the looks.
We wanted to create a car with a lot of personality. This is the first time Subaru is making a big SUV. This is a top-of-a-class car. They wanted to have a shape which looks very dynamic. So here we have a shape that starts from the front. The car begins here. It starts from here. The front fender is very, very important. And it moves very nicely, fluidly into the greenhouse and all the way to the back. We have this muscle that comes out of the car in a very elegant, discreet way, and it wraps around in the back of the car.
It does look somehow familiar. The headlights remind one of the Porsche Cayenne, and the basic Porsche engine develops 245 horsepower, much like the Tribecas. But there, the similarities end. The Tribeca is 16 foot long. That leaves plenty of room inside. The design is innovative, unconventional even. The basic idea is a mixture of off-road vehicle and station wagon, an SUV in fact. The flat-six engine is typical Subaru, 3 liters capacity and 240 horsepower. That's the only engine available to start with. Mercedes is very different in that respect. 5 engines and 2 different wheelbase variants to choose from in the R-Class. The interior of the Tribeca is inviting from the word go. The cockpit is uncluttered and gives an impression of quality. The touchscreen navigation system wasn't always totally reliable at getting us through the maze of a German city, but the reversing camera makes parking a pleasure. Comfort is writ large here. The seats are suitable for long journeys, and there's a DVD entertainment system to pacify the rear passengers. The Tribeca has a level load platform, or it seats 7 at a pinch. Aye, there's the rub. The back row is suitable only for short journeys, or you'll have a revolt on your hands. The Tribeca will also have to compete against a tough Scandinavian. The Volvo XC90 has many fans and has sold over 250,000 to date, 60% of them in the USA, where the Tribeca comes from. The Subaru can't conceal its American genes. The suspension is very soft for European country roads. The automatic transmission has a busy time, and the seats provide more comfort than safety. The S in SUV stands for sports, but the Tribeca falls noticeably short there. The Audi Q7 is longer and also more expensive. That's another spacious off-roader that will probably seldom actually venture off the road. The Subaru Tribeca is a typical SUV. It does many things well, but nothing outstandingly well. All the same, at a price of just under 50,000 euros, it makes an interesting alternative.